Coming together for a family dealing with a tragic loss. What a community is doing to help after a crash killed 6 people in Wayne County.
Bass Webb's latest murder trial was scheduled to last all month in Rowan County. We'll explain why the judge pushed the date back.
In a WKYT exclusive report, we introduce you to Kentucky's criminal caretakers. How inmates dealing with life-threatening illnesses are receiving help from other inmates.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. We are learning more tonight about a crash in Clark County involving a school bus. As we first told you as breaking news at 5, more than a dozen children were on board at the time.
It happened late this afternoon on Colby Road near Winchester. Jordan Valines is tracking the investigation tonight into the crash, and she's live at the scene with the breaking details. Jordan?
That's right. This stretch of Colby Road reopened about 30 minutes ago. But if you take a look here beside me, you can see that some of the damage from that accident still remains. This portion of stone wall was knocked over by that school bus. Around 3:30 this afternoon, the bus slammed into the wall in order to avoid a head-on collision with a Chevy Blazer that was traveling inbound. We're told the Blazer swerved into oncoming traffic in order to avoid rear-ending another car and a mail carrier on the other side of the hill. 15 school kids were on the bus when the collision happened, but thankfully none of them were hurt, and all of them have since been picked up by their parents. Now, the driver of the Chevy Blazer was also taken to the hospital, but deputies say that they were not seriously injured. And at this time, deputies tell us that the crash was purely accidental and that no charges will be filed. Live in Clark County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Jordan, thank you. It's left a small southern Kentucky community in shock. A crash in Wayne County killed 6 people, all of them from the same family.
4 children were among the victims, and now people in the community are trying to help the victims' family members. Sam Smith tells us what's being done. It's our top story at 6.
This community wants to help out after that deadly crash, which I'm told is typical because people here care about each other.
I'm rather proud of our community. You know, it seems like, we do come together when it counts.
Hicks Vaughn Funeral Home is handling the arrangements for the 6 killed in the crash. Owner Anthony Vaughn says they're also collecting donations to help pay for funeral costs. He says the national average for one funeral is $7,500. The victim's family has 6.
One death is tragic, and especially tragic when it's unexpected and when it's not planned for. 6 is something entirely different. I don't think there's anyone that can prepare for 6 deaths within one family.
The arrangements for 41-year-old Tina Proctor, 25-year-old Audrey Ellis, 12-year-old Nate Proctor, 4-year-old Red Barnhouse, 2-year-old Zoe Bertram, and 17-month-old Jace Bertram are still pending. Vaughn says since the crash, donations have been flowing in from the community, and he's not surprised.
Really, the community has handled this like, hey, this is our duty. And, for that, we're proud.
If you want to help out, you can call Hicks Vaughn and donate over the phone, or you can drop off cash or a check. In Wayne County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Nate Proctor was a 5th grader at Monticello Elementary School. Grief counselors were on hand for students today.
It is another sign that the debate over the Centerpoint development in downtown Lexington is likely heading to court. Today, an attorney for developer Dudley Webb sent Lexington city leaders another letter saying they can, quote, expect to be involved in litigation, end of quote. This comes 3 days after Webb's attorney sent city leaders a letter threatening to take them to court. Last week, city leaders demanded that Webb fill in the Centerpoint block, claiming that no construction had taken place there in the last 60 days. Webb's attorney says the city has until this Friday to take back that demand, or Webb will take legal action.
The trial of a Central Kentucky man accused of killing his former girlfriend has been delayed again. Police say Bass Webb killed Sabrina Vaughn in Montgomery County in 2003. He's already serving time for the murder of another ex-girlfriend. Kristen Kennedy was in the courtroom for Webb's hearing today in Rowan County. New at 6, she tells us what's caused this latest delay in the case.
Bass Webb's trial was supposed to start this week, but a number of factors have delayed that start date.
There was an issue with information that the defense wanted from the Texas DNA lab.
Webb's attorneys want to know more about the DNA testing the prosecution says proves the body found in Powell County in 2010 was Sabrina Vaughn. Vaughn was dating Webb when she went missing in Montgomery County in 2003. Investigators found her body almost 7 years later, buried in a remote area outside Clay City. Webb is now charged with her murder, and his attorneys say the way medical examiners determined the body was Vaughn's is very different than what they're used to.
What it was taking samples from other people who were related to the victim and trying to extrapolate whether or not, in fact, the remains that were found in Powell County were the missing woman. It has a much lower probability rate than what we're used to with DNA matches.
Judge Mays is allowing time for information to come back from the Texas lab for the defense to examine.
I felt it was important that you all had that information so that we don't start this trial with a potential appealable issue before the trial even gets started.
Webb is scheduled to be back in court January 20th for a pretrial conference. In Rowan County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Webb is now expected to stand trial for the murder of Sabrina Vaughn in February of 2016. He is already serving a 50-year sentence for killing another former girlfriend, Bria Renowitz, in Harrison County.
A Knox County bus driver charged in connection to a gun incident at an elementary school says he's not guilty. Charles Hans was arraigned this morning. He was charged last week after police say a student told him that two boys had guns on his bus, but he didn't report it. Police say teachers at DeWitt Elementary later found those guns. They say the two children, ages 6 and 7, brought them to school for show and tell. Knox County school leaders say Hans is now on administrative leave until the investigation is over.
It is the first week of May, but it feels more like summer outside. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at a really warm forecast.
Yeah, a little on the toasty side over the next several days, more typical of late June or July as opposed to the first full week of May. But you know what? Coming out of the spring and winter that we're coming out of, I will take it. Not that I have a choice, though. Here's a look at Live First Alert Defender, the Broadview. Flow's coming right out of the Gulf of Mexico. That is a warm and a humid flow. Cold front to the north of us, though, never really getting into the Ohio River area. It is staying to our north. That's where we're seeing showers and thunderstorms, and that's that warm southwesterly flow that is kind of keep that front to our north. Right now, Lexington, after topping out in the low 80s, we're down to 79 degrees. Humidity is at 42%. Winds, again, gusty from the southwest at around 10 miles per hour. A lot of upper 70s showing up across most of central Kentucky. How about Danville at 81? 81 into Jackson. London, we are the warm spot at 82 degrees. Weather headlines, it's that middle of summer temperature feel with humidity that is beginning to join the party before the week is over. You're going to have summertime temperatures. You might as well throw in the summer humidity that will lead to some late week thunder chances. We will track those when I come back in just a matter of minutes.
Tonight, a Lexington mother has been charged because police say she left her young children home alone. Lexington police say a maintenance worker at an apartment complex on Winburn Drive found a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old alone in one of the apartments this morning. Police say the mother, 34-year-old Sophia Jackson, was at work at the time. They think the children were alone for less than an hour. Police cited Jackson for endangering the welfare of a minor.
It is not a group that would immediately get your sympathy. For them, this is a chance to right their wrongs. Kentucky State inmates taking care of one another when death is inevitable. WKYT's Miranda Combs has this exclusive interview with Kentucky's criminal caretakers.
We are sitting in a room with a rapist, 2 murderers, and a man convicted of kidnapping and burglary, among other felonies. We are talking in a room behind rows of barbed wire fencing within the gates of the Kentucky State Reformatory, a medium security prison, a place some spend the rest of their lives.
I've been here at the Kentucky State Reformatory for over 10 years, and when I was out in the world, I was took all my life, and I just wanted to give something back.
They do that by sitting, not here, but in rooms like this.
We've been together, what now, for little over 2 years?
During that time, Donald Thompson and Esther have grown close.
I mean, he's a real good friend of mine.
Their friendship is bonded by death. Esther will die soon.
Are you lonely?
Am I lonely? Nah, I got friends like that. I can't be lonely with friends like that.
Esther has terminal cancer.
I don't want to die in here, but I probably won't have no choice.
He is one of the average of 12 to 20 offenders on hospice care at the prison. This is the only hospice unit for Kentucky prisoners. The cost to taxpayers? Nothing. The price for these men, it's repaying debt.
I did some really bad things to get here. I may not have been a good guy in my earlier part, but this is something that is selfless.
These men are hospice volunteers. They are trained to take care of fellow inmates at the end.
And if I don't go see him every other day, it's like his own brother didn't come see him or something that he was expecting.
It's a privilege. They have to stay out of trouble while they're on the inside. Their promise to dying inmates, they won't be alone at the end.
When they get close, when they are actively dying, we sit with them 24 hours a day for as long as it takes until they do die with us in the room.
During our visit, they had no patients going through active death.
I'm usually one of the first guys that they call.
But each week for the past 6 weeks, someone in the institution has died, with just 12 men to be by their sides.
I just think it's the right thing to do, to be there with someone. I would hope that when I do, and all of us in the room here, we stand a chance of us dying right here in prison too. And we would like to have someone with us there at the end too.
Past crimes don't disappear here. There are reminders everywhere.
I'll be back to see you again real soon.
You're welcome.
All right.
I appreciate you too.
Appreciate you as well, man.
But there are also friends, which is all they've got.
I thank God all the time for these guys. You know, I really do. Like I say, they've helped me a lot.
The hospice volunteers still have separate jobs in the institution. They care for the hospice patients on their own time. They have to have a clean record the entire time they are in prison, no matter how long they've been there.
What an interesting look inside, Miranda. And this is where death row inmate Thomas Clyde Bowling recently died, right?
Right. He was brought there right before he died. Now, he did not have hospice volunteers with him. He was protected by armed guards, obviously, for the status of his crime and being a death row inmate. But most, that's what they get.
You know, compassion in a place you wouldn't expect it.
Right, and repaying debt, too, I think is a lot of it for them.
All right, thanks for sharing, Miranda. We appreciate it.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
You may have noticed new signs are popping up around downtown Lexington encouraging people to walk instead of drive.
42 signs like these are posted around downtown. The signs tell you how close you are to an attraction or a point of interest and how many minutes it will take you to walk there. City leaders say the new Walk Lexington project is a great way for people to get exercise and discover places they would normally overlook.
Well, blame the famous fried chicken or love of bourbon, but the prescription to help Kentuckians battle heartburn totals more than $73 million. The hefty price tag is the amount of money the federal government spent on Nexium for the state's participants in Medicare's prescription program. Kentucky's heartburn bill was the 11th highest in the country. Texas was the highest. The second most expensive prescription for Kentucky was for the cholesterol-fighting drug Crestor. It cost $48 million.